A three-toed sloth, with its famously slow movements, might seem to be an unlikely candidate for remarkable anatomical feats. Yet, the sloth's ability to turn its head a full 270 degrees is an extraordinary adaptation that defies what we typically expect from animals. To understand how and why a sloth is capable of such a feat, we must first explore the specifics of its anatomy, particularly its neck structure, and the evolutionary forces that shape this ability. This extreme range of motion is not just a quirk, it plays a critical role in the sloth's ability to survive in its environment. By examining the mechanics of the sloth's head rotation, we can better appreciate the intricate balance between evolution, survival strategies, and the delicate systems that allow sloths to thrive in the treetops. At first glance, the sloth's slow and deliberate movements might make it seem less agile than many of its jungle companions. However, the sloth's movements are highly adapted to the specific demands of life in the trees. One of the most significant challenges a sloth faces is maintaining its position in the canopy, where it spends most of its life hanging from tree branches. The ability to turn its head nearly a full circle allows the sloth to keep a constant watch over its surroundings, scanning for potential threats, mates, or food sources, all without needing to move its body much at all. This head rotation gives the sloth a wide field of view, which is crucial for avoiding predators, such as harpy eagles or jaguars, which might be lurking in the dense forest below. It is this highly specialized trait that reveals the sloth's evolutionary strategy: slow and stealthy, yet equipped with just the right tools for survival. The key to the sloth's ability to rotate its head lies in its unique neck structure. Unlike most mammals, which have 7 cervical vertebrae, the three-toed sloth has an additional cervical vertebra, resulting in a total of 9. This extra vertebra provides the necessary flexibility for the sloth's head to rotate a full 270 degrees. The increase in the number of vertebrae allows for greater freedom of motion without sacrificing stability, which is important for an animal that spends the majority of its time hanging upside down. These specialized vertebrae are connected by ligaments that are remarkably flexible, allowing the neck to bend in ways that would be impossible for most animals. The sloth's neck muscles are also adapted to support this flexibility, allowing the sloth to move its head slowly and carefully, a crucial advantage when avoiding predators. While this extended range of motion might seem like an incredible feat of evolutionary design, it is also important to note that the sloth's movement is not quick. The sloth's deliberate and slow movements are a direct result of its low metabolic rate, which is among the slowest of any mammal. By moving slowly, the sloth conserves energy, an essential strategy in a world where food is often scarce. Sloths feed mainly on leaves, which provide little nutritional value, so they must conserve every ounce of energy they can. Moving slowly also helps the sloth avoid detection by predators, as it blends seamlessly into the branches of trees, almost indistinguishable from the surrounding foliage. This slow pace, combined with the ability to turn its head nearly all the way around, ensures that the sloth can remain hidden and alert without drawing attention to itself. The sloth's slow movement is not just a matter of energy conservation, but also a product of its evolution. The sloth's ancestors, which were once larger, faster, and more agile, evolved into the modern sloth through millions of years of adaptation to an arboreal lifestyle. Over time, sloths became more specialized for life in the trees, developing long claws for gripping branches and a body built for hanging upside down. The sloth's low metabolic rate is a consequence of its shift to a diet consisting primarily of leaves, which are difficult to digest and provide minimal energy. This slow metabolism means that the sloth is not in a hurry to move, but instead relies on its stealth and careful movements to avoid predators. The ability to rotate its head so far provides the sloth with the perfect combination of alertness and concealment, allowing it to survive in an environment where danger is always present. In addition to its head rotation, the sloth's long, powerful claws are another key aspect of its adaptation to the treetops. The sloth's claws are curved and designed to grip branches with remarkable strength, allowing the sloth to hang effortlessly from trees without exerting much energy. These claws are so strong that the sloth can remain suspended for hours, or even days, without having to make any effort to hold on. This passive hanging is made possible by the sloth's highly specialized musculature and tendon system, which is designed to keep the claws locked into place with minimal effort. This allows the sloth to conserve energy and avoid tiring itself out, which is crucial when it spends most of its life hanging upside down. The sloth's anatomical adaptations also extend to its cardiovascular and respiratory systems. Sloths have an extremely low heart rate, which is another result of their slow metabolism. Their heart beats only about 30 times per minute, significantly slower than most mammals. This slow heart rate helps to conserve energy and is paired with a low body temperature, which further reduces the energy requirements for survival. The sloth's respiratory system is also adapted to its slow pace, with a slow breathing rate that allows it to take in as much oxygen as possible without expending unnecessary energy. This combination of physiological traits makes the sloth a master of energy conservation. Able to survive on a minimal diet while maintaining a steady and deliberate pace of life, the sloth's ability to rotate its head so dramatically also connects to its sensory capabilities. Unlike other mammals, which rely heavily on acute vision for detecting predators or food sources, the sloth's visual and auditory systems are less developed. Instead, the sloth's head rotation serves as a means of compensating for its limited sensory input, providing the sloth with a wider field of view to detect potential threats. The sloth's slow movements mean it is unlikely to make a sudden, noticeable movement, and its ability to scan its surroundings without shifting its body helps it remain undetected. The extra flexibility in the neck also allows the sloth to position itself in ways that maximize its ability to monitor its environment without alerting predators. Moreover, the sloth's vision, while not highly acute, is well adapted to the low-light conditions of the forest canopy. The sloth is primarily nocturnal, spending much of its active hours during the night when the forest is darker and predators are less likely to be active. During these hours, the sloth uses its keen sense of smell and its ability to rotate its head to identify the most suitable leaves to eat. While it may not be able to see in fine detail, the sloth's wide range of motion helps it to scan its surroundings and find food sources without expending unnecessary energy or drawing attention to itself. Interestingly, the sloth's anatomy extends beyond its unique head rotation to include a specialized digestive system that plays a key role in its survival strategy. The sloth's stomach is divided into multiple chambers, much like a cow's, which allows for the slow digestion of the tough, fibrous leaves it consumes. This complex digestive system ensures that the sloth can extract the maximum amount of nutrients from its food, despite the fact that leaves provide very little energy. The digestive process itself is slow, taking several days for the sloth to fully process a single meal. The combination of slow digestion, low metabolism, and slow movement forms an intricate web of adaptations that enable the sloth to survive in an environment where many other animals would struggle. In a sense, the sloth's entire existence is built around the idea of conservation, whether it's conserving energy, avoiding predators, or maximizing the efficiency of its food intake. The sloth's ability to rotate its head a full 270 degrees is just one more example of how this animal has evolved to thrive in its environment. It is a creature perfectly adapted to a life spent hanging in the trees, moving slowly and steadily, yet constantly aware of its surroundings. The sloth's unusual ability to turn its head serves as a reminder that evolution doesn't always favor speed or strength, but rather a specialized set of traits that allows an animal to thrive in its niche. In the case of the sloth, that niche is a treetop existence, where slow, deliberate movements and careful observation make all the difference between survival and becoming prey. Building upon the sloth's extraordinary ability to rotate its head, we can explore how this adaptation integrates with the broader aspects of its behavior, ecological interactions, and survival strategies. While the previous discussion focused on the anatomical and physiological mechanisms that allow the sloth to turn its head 270 degrees, the next layer of understanding involves how this skill interacts with its environment, foraging habits, predator avoidance, and even social behaviors. This head rotation is not an isolated feature but part of a larger suite of adaptations that allow the sloth to navigate the challenges of a canopy-dwelling lifestyle. The sloth's head mobility greatly influences its feeding behavior. Leaves in tropical forests are often scattered, sometimes hidden behind dense foliage or located on branches that are difficult to reach. The ability to turn its head extensively without moving its body allows the sloth to survey multiple angles for edible leaves without expending energy on repositioning itself. This method of foraging minimizes exposure to predators while maximizing access to nutrition. In addition, the sloth's sense of taste and smell works in concert with its head movement, enabling it to identify suitable leaves, avoid toxic plants, and maintain a stable, energy-efficient feeding pattern. Its slow, deliberate approach ensures that it consumes food selectively and steadily, which aligns with its slow digestive process and low-calorie diet. Beyond feeding, the sloth's head rotation enhances its ability to detect and avoid predators. In the canopy, threats can come from above, below, or from neighboring trees. While many animals rely on sudden bursts of speed or agility to evade predators, the sloth strategy is based on vigilance and stealth. The ability to monitor a wide field of view without moving the body reduces the risk of drawing attention from predators like harpy eagles or jaguars. This constant visual monitoring allows the sloth to anticipate danger and respond by freezing, hiding among foliage, or repositioning its body along a branch if necessary. The combination of slow movement and nearly panoramic head rotation is an elegant survival solution in a three-dimensional arboreal environment. The sloth's rotational ability also influences its interactions with other sloths and the social dynamics within its species. Although three-toed sloths are largely solitary, occasional encounters with conspecifics occur during mating or territorial behaviors. The extended neck flexibility allows the sloth to observe and interpret the movements and intentions of nearby individuals from a safe distance. Visual cues, subtle gestures, and head orientation provide vital information in social encounters, minimizing unnecessary risk or conflict. The capacity to monitor multiple angles without bodily movement contributes to the sloth's ability to maintain personal space and avoid confrontations that could be energetically costly or dangerous. Another aspect influenced by head rotation is spatial orientation and navigation within the forest canopy. The dense arrangement of branches, vines, and leaves requires precise coordination to move without falling or getting stuck. While the sloth moves slowly, its head rotation allows it to continuously assess the surroundings, calculate distances to the next branch, and judge potential hazards such as unstable limbs or areas with limited support. This visual scanning, combined with its long limbs and curved claws, ensures that every movement is intentional and secure, reducing the risk of falls that could be fatal given the heights at which the sloth resides. The interplay between head rotation and sensory perception extends further to the sloth's auditory capabilities. Although their hearing is not exceptional, the sloth can detect subtle rustling or other sounds in the canopy. By turning its head extensively, the sloth can localize sound sources without having to move its body, providing an early warning system that complements its visual vigilance. This ability to combine minimal movement with maximum awareness of the environment underscores the efficiency of the sloth's survival strategy: slow, deliberate, and acutely attuned to its surroundings. Even in relation to environmental pressures such as changing seasons or human encroachment, head rotation remains advantageous. In fragmented habitats, where resources are unevenly distributed and threats may be more numerous, the sloth's ability to scan widely while conserving energy is essential. Its anatomical specialization allows it to remain in relatively confined areas while still monitoring for food, shelter, and danger. As deforestation alters the landscape, this evolutionary advantage becomes even more critical, highlighting how a single anatomical trait can have cascading effects on behavior and survival in a changing ecosystem. Furthermore, the sloth's neck flexibility influences its sleep and rest patterns. Spending the majority of time hanging upside down, the sloth relies on its head rotation to remain oriented and alert while resting. It can adjust its head to observe potential movement in the surrounding environment even while in a seemingly dormant state. This capacity for passive surveillance is another subtle but crucial aspect of its evolutionary design. Allowing the sloth to maintain awareness without needing to expend energy actively, the sloth's remarkable head rotation also interacts with its camouflage strategies. Its fur hosts symbiotic algae that help the animal blend seamlessly into the green canopy. The ability to rotate its head widely enables it to maximize the effectiveness of this camouflage, adjusting its head and body positioning to align with the patterns of light and shadow, creating a nearly invisible silhouette. This coordination between anatomical adaptation, behavior, and environmental integration illustrates the complex synergy that allows the sloth to remain both slow-moving and elusive. Finally, this unique adaptation has implications for understanding broader evolutionary principles. The three-toed sloth demonstrates how specialized anatomical features can emerge not for speed or strength, but for efficiency, survival, and energy conservation in a specific ecological niche. The head rotation is not a standalone trait, it is part of a suite of interdependent adaptations that include low metabolism, specialized claws, slow movement, and dietary efficiency. Together, these traits provide a window into how evolution prioritizes ecological suitability over generalized physical performance, offering insight into the intricate balance between physiology, environment, and survival strategy. In this way, the sloth's head rotation represents more than a physiological curiosity, it is a central feature in a highly integrated survival system. By linking mobility, vigilance, foraging, social behavior, and environmental awareness, this trait exemplifies the nuanced ways in which evolution shapes species to fit their ecological roles. The more we study this slow-moving creature, the clearer it becomes that its remarkable anatomical design, including the ability to rotate its head 270 degrees, is a critical factor in the sloth's enduring success in a challenging and competitive arboreal world. As we continue to explore the intricate relationships between the sloth's unique head rotation and its survival strategies, it becomes clear that this remarkable ability is part of a larger suite of evolutionary adaptations. These adaptations work together to make the sloth an ideal candidate for life in the dense, three-dimensional world of the tropical canopy. The sloth's survival, however, does not depend solely on its ability to turn its head but is a holistic interaction of physiology, behavior, and environmental interactions. This delicate balance ensures that the sloth thrives in its niche, a slow-moving creature in a fast-paced world. One of the most remarkable aspects of the sloth's lifestyle is its low metabolic rate. Unlike other animals that rely on speed and agility to catch prey or escape predators, the sloth's metabolism is adapted to conserve energy, given that its diet consists mainly of leaves. Leaves, rich in fiber but poor in nutrients, require a long time to digest, which is why the sloth's digestive system is also adapted to slow processing. The sloth's stomach is divided into multiple compartments, similar to that of a cow, which allows it to slowly break down the plant matter over the course of several days. This slower digestion is energy-intensive, so the sloth compensates by moving slowly and deliberately, ensuring that it uses as little energy as possible while feeding and navigating its environment. The sloth's low metabolism and slow digestion are reflected in its physical movements as well. It takes the sloth an extended period of time to travel from one tree to another, but this slow pace is an essential part of its survival. The sloth's deliberate movements minimize the likelihood of drawing attention from predators. And they also help conserve the precious energy that the sloth needs to survive in an environment where food is not abundant. Despite its seemingly sluggish nature, the sloth's body is perfectly suited to its environment, where slow movement and the ability to remain largely stationary for long periods are crucial to avoid detection by larger predators like jaguars, ocelots, and harpy eagles. The sloth's specialized anatomy, however, is not limited to its slow movement and head rotation. Its claws, long and curved, are designed for gripping tree branches with incredible strength, allowing the sloth to hang effortlessly upside down for long periods. These claws lock onto the tree branches in such a way that the sloth can relax and rest without having to use any energy to hold on. The positioning of the sloth's claws is also critical for the way it moves through the trees. By moving slowly and relying on its powerful limbs, the sloth can move along branches with minimal effort, gripping tightly with its claws while using its limbs for support. In addition to its claws, the sloth's skeletal structure is another key factor in its ability to survive in the treetops. The sloth's bones are adapted to support the heavy muscles and the low metabolism that characterize its lifestyle. Its limbs are long and flexible, helping it to navigate between branches and find food sources without tiring itself. The sloth's neck and back are also unusually flexible, which allows it to rotate its head 270 degrees. further enhancing its ability to scan its environment for potential threats. This physical flexibility works in tandem with the sloth's other adaptations to create a highly efficient and low-energy survival strategy. The sloth's choice of habitat is another crucial aspect of its survival strategy. By spending almost its entire life in the treetops, the sloth has become highly specialized for this arboreal lifestyle. The dense, vertical world of the canopy provides the sloth with a variety of advantages. In the trees, the sloth is less exposed to ground-based predators, which would be a significant threat if it were to descend to the forest floor. Additionally, the canopy is rich in food sources, primarily leaves from a variety of trees, but these leaves are not always easy to reach. The sloth's slow movements and ability to rotate its head enable it to carefully survey its surroundings to find food without having to venture too far from its current position. The tree branches themselves provide a stable platform for the sloth to rest, while the surrounding foliage provides camouflage, helping the sloth blend in seamlessly with its environment. Yet, while the sloth thrives in the canopy, its lifestyle also presents challenges, especially when it comes to reproduction. Sloths are solitary creatures, with limited social interactions except for mating. Their slow movements and energy-intensive diet mean that they are not as agile as other animals, which makes courtship and mate-finding a slower, more deliberate process. Mating generally occurs during the rainy season when sloths are more likely to encounter each other, but even then, the sloth's courtship rituals are far less dynamic than those of other mammals. The slow pace of reproduction is also seen in the sloth's offspring. After mating, female sloths give birth to a single baby, which clings to its mother's chest for several months before becoming more independent. The young sloth's early development is relatively slow, reflecting the overall pace of life for this unique mammal. The combination of slow reproduction, low metabolism, and solitary habits means that sloths reproduce at a slower rate compared to other mammals. This slow reproductive cycle is another factor that influences the sloth's overall survival. In an environment where food is limited and predators are present, sloths must rely on their ability to remain hidden and avoid danger over long periods of time. By conserving energy and moving slowly, the sloth maximizes its chances of surviving and reproducing in an environment where speed and agility are less important than patience and vigilance. The role of symbiotic relationships further illustrates the complexity of the sloth's survival. The sloth's fur hosts a unique ecosystem of algae, insects, and other microorganisms. The algae, in particular, thrive on the sloth's damp fur, creating a greenish tint that provides camouflage in the leafy canopy. This camouflage helps protect the sloth from predators that might otherwise spot it more easily. The algae are not just passive passengers, they also contribute to the sloth's overall ecological footprint. As the sloth moves slowly through the trees, it carries these algae to new locations, facilitating the spread of the organisms to other parts of the forest. This mutually beneficial relationship between the sloth and the algae is another fascinating example of how the sloth has evolved to live in harmony with its environment. Moreover, the sloth's slow movements and limited range of interactions with other species help preserve the biodiversity of the canopy. By moving slowly and efficiently, the sloth avoids disturbing the complex web of life that exists in the treetops. Other animals, such as birds, insects, and smaller mammals, all coexist with the sloth in the same space, relying on different food sources and habitats. The sloth's presence in the canopy may also have a stabilizing effect on the ecosystem, as its slow movements contribute to the balance of species within this vertical environment. The evolutionary success of the sloth, as seen through its unique head rotation, low metabolism, and specialized anatomy, is a testament to nature's ingenuity. The sloth thrives in the challenging environment of the treetops not by speed or strength, but by adapting to its surroundings with remarkable precision. Each of its adaptations, from its slow movements to its ability to remain hidden in plain sight, enhances its chances of survival in a world that demands energy conservation, careful navigation, and keen awareness. Through these remarkable traits, the sloth has secured its place in one of the most complex and diverse ecosystems on Earth. continuing from the previous insights into the sloth's evolutionary adaptations, we can delve even deeper into how these traits not only enable its survival but also play a significant role in maintaining the delicate balance of its ecosystem. The sloth's lifestyle, characterized by slow movements, low metabolism, and its ability to rotate its head 270 degrees, highlights how even the most specialized creatures contribute to the biodiversity and stability of their environments. In this context, the sloth is more than just a slow-moving mammal, it is an integral part of the complex web of life in the tropical forests. One of the more intriguing aspects of the sloth's ecological role is its contribution to nutrient cycling in the forest. By feeding on leaves, which are difficult for most animals to digest due to their high fiber content, the sloth plays a role in breaking down and recycling organic matter. The leaves the sloth consumes are often rich in minerals that other animals cannot access. Once the sloth digests these leaves, it excretes waste in the form of nutrient-rich feces, which provides essential nutrients to the soil. These nutrients help to support the growth of plants, fostering an environment where new leaves can grow and sustain not just the sloth but many other creatures in the forest. The sloth's slow digestion is a process that takes several days, and during this time, the leaves remain in its stomach for long periods. This extended digestion time helps ensure that the sloth absorbs as many nutrients as possible, even though its diet consists primarily of leaves that are not nutrient-dense. By participating in the decomposition process in this way, the sloth effectively becomes a conduit for nutrient redistribution, enhancing the health of the forest. In a way, the sloth's low-energy strategy helps sustain the very ecosystem it inhabits, by returning important nutrients to the soil that support the diverse plant and animal life in the tropical canopy. In addition to its role in nutrient cycling, the sloth contributes to the vertical structure of the forest. As it moves through the trees, it creates paths for smaller creatures and insects to follow. These paths, while subtle, provide access to different parts of the canopy for other species that rely on the dense foliage for shelter, food, and safety. The sloth's slow and deliberate movements also encourage the growth of certain plant species that thrive in the shade of its often immobile body. By remaining in one spot for extended periods, the sloth facilitates the growth of moss, ferns, and other small plants that can benefit from the reduced sunlight. In this way, the sloth indirectly aids in the growth of vegetation that supports various smaller organisms, contributing to the overall biodiversity of the forest. Interestingly, the sloth's relationship with the ecosystem extends to its unique fur, which provides a habitat for various organisms, including algae, moths, and beetles. The algae that grow on the sloth's fur are an important source of food for certain species of moths. These moths, in turn, contribute to the sloth's health by helping to break down the algae and keep it from overwhelming its fur. In a fascinating reciprocal relationship, the sloth's fur acts as a mobile ecosystem, supporting life forms that rely on the sloth for sustenance and shelter. This mutualistic relationship between the sloth and the organisms that live in its fur is a perfect example of how even the most seemingly isolated creatures are intricately connected to the greater ecological community. The sloth's role in the forest also extends to its contribution to the forest structure. As an animal that spends nearly its entire life in the treetops, the sloth's movements are a crucial part of the forest's three-dimensional structure. Its careful and slow movements through the canopy help maintain the balance of this vertical environment, where animals, plants, and microorganisms all interact in complex ways. In fact, the sloth's slow pace and ability to remain largely undisturbed for long periods make it an ideal resident of the forest's upper reaches. The sloth's deliberate navigation through the trees ensures that it does not disrupt the delicate balance of the forest floor, while its long-term residence in specific trees contributes to the stability of the canopy's intricate architecture. The sloth's interaction with its environment extends beyond the trees themselves. Its presence in the forest helps maintain the structure of the larger ecological community by providing a food source for a variety of animals. Sloth carcasses, when they eventually die, become valuable sources of food for scavengers and decomposers. The slow decay process of a sloth's body provides nutrients that support a variety of other organisms, including insects, fungi, and bacteria, which in turn contribute to the health of the forest soil. This natural cycle of life and death, in which the sloth plays a pivotal role, underscores the interconnectedness of all species within the ecosystem. The sloth's relatively low impact on its surroundings, combined with its role in recycling nutrients and providing habitat for other organisms, makes it an important player in maintaining the ecological health of the forest. From an evolutionary perspective, the sloth's combination of adaptations, its low metabolic rate, its unique head rotation, its slow movements, and its symbiotic relationships, demonstrates how nature has shaped this species to thrive in a highly specialized ecological niche. The sloth's survival strategy is rooted in patience, energy conservation, and an extraordinary ability to adapt to a specific environment. As a result, the sloth has become one of the most efficient creatures in the tropical canopy. Relying on its distinctive traits to survive in a world where food is scarce, predators are many, and competition for resources is high, the sloth's strategy is a textbook example of how evolution does not always favor speed, strength, or aggression, but rather adaptability and efficiency in a given environment. Its success is a testament to the power of evolutionary specialization and how even the most unlikely traits, such as its head rotation, can offer significant advantages in survival. In a world where many species are adapted to be quick and powerful, the sloth has carved out a niche for itself through its unhurried, energy-efficient lifestyle. In summary, the sloth's unique adaptations, including its ability to rotate its head 270 degrees, reflect a highly specialized approach to survival that enhances its ability to thrive in the dense, vertical world of the tropical canopy. Each of these traits, the sloth's low metabolism, slow movement, specialized anatomy, and interactions with its environment, works in concert to help it navigate the challenges of life in the trees. The sloth's place in the forest ecosystem is not just one of passive existence, but an active, integral role in maintaining the balance of the environment. Its survival strategy is not one of speed or strength but of patience, efficiency, and a deep connection to the forest's intricate web of life. Through its unique abilities, the sloth has proven that sometimes, slow and steady really does win the race.